Welcome to Blazing Baseball, episode 115, where
Wow.
we blaze through today's baseball topics, and we are Astros and Yankees fans.
Yep.
So, the Astros are are playing the Mariners
Any minute, right?
right now. Yep.
All right.
And today we have the most trades to talk about.
Okay.
So we will be reporting on that. And we'll jump into the schedule in a second.
Yep. We got 15 games, and we have 3 games already completed today. Yankees also are one of those teams that finished their game early.
And also we have the Brewers and Bum Talks in the background. And Brewers are winning 5-4 in the top of the 8th.
Yes, in Boston at Fenway Park.
And
Brewers
so it looks like, to answer the question from yesterday,
Yeah, the question about the money.
Yes, according to which team has the highest payroll of 2022, and according to Spotrac.com, the answer is the Los Angeles Dodgers, coming in at 261,020,515, with the Mets coming in second with 260,711,939. And then the Yanks and Phillies are after them.
So the Yankees are at 253 million, and the Phillies are at 233 million. So 261, 260, 253, and 233. That's like $1 billion. The top 4 teams.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money in baseball. Holy cow. These guys are getting paid big bucks.
Yep, and so earlier today we had the Guardians at Rays. And sorry if I mispronounced any names in this podcast. With Tampa Bay winning 6-4, with the win going to Clubber, the loss to Plesac, and the save to Fairbanks. And then we had the Royals at Yanks, with the Yanks winning 8-2. The win going to Cortez, and the loss to Hesley, and the save that goes to Schmidt. Also during this game with the Yanks and Royals, it was Aaron Judge's 200th home run.
Yay! It's awesome. He's hot.
Number 42nd of the year.
That's a lot of homers already.
And then also earlier today we had the Tigers at Blue Jays, with Toronto winning 5-3. The win going to Richards, the loss to Law, and the save to Romano. And then happening now, we have the Brewers at Bum Sox, which is now 6-4 Brewers in
Good.
the 8th. And also playing, we have the Mets at Marlins, the Orioles at Reds, the Mariners at Astros, and in warm-up, we have the Cards and Nats, with the Cards Hudson, who is 6-6, versus the Nats Espino, who is 0-3. And also in warm-up, we have the Twins at Padres, with the Twins Gray, who is 5-3, versus the Padres Musgrove, who is 8-3. Also in warm-up is the battle for Pennsylvania, the Peas. We have the Phillies at Pirates, with the Phillies Suarez, who is 7-5, versus the Pirates Keller, who is 3-7. And also in warm-up, we have the A's at White Sox, with the A's Blackburn, who is 6-6, versus the White Sox Cueto, who is 4-4. Also in warm-up, we have the D-backs at Braves, with the D-backs Martin, who is zip, versus the Braves Anderson, who is 8-6. And then later today, we have the Dodgers at Rockies, with the Dodgers Kershaw, who was 7-2, versus the Rockies Freeland, who is 5-7. And then we have the Cubs at Giants, with the Cubs Smiley, who is 3-5, versus the Giants Eunice, who is 4-2. And last but not least, we have the Rangers at Angels, with the Rangers Otto, who is 4-7, versus the Angels Silseth, who is 1-3.
Okay, and we're watching the Astros live. There are one out and a runner on first base. It was an interesting play. Valdez threw a pitch in the dirt. It bounced off the dirt in front of the batter, bounced up and hit him in the knee. So even though the ball hit the ground way in front of him because it hit him in the knee, he got first base. He's hit by pitch,
Mm-hmm.
even though it was a grounder.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really an interesting play. You hardly ever see a ball bounce off the ground and then hit the batter.
And then he
Okay.
still got the base.
And he got the base. So he's on
Doesn't he
first.
normally not get? They normally don't get the base
I don't
after
know.
that, right?
I don't know. It was interesting to see it. Okay. I guess it was close enough for him to get first base. Okay. So
So up for pitching for the Astros is Framber Valdez, and on pitching for Seattle is Flexen. Up first for the Mariners is Rodriguez at center field, batting 273. And then France at first base, batting 309. And then Lewis at DH, batting 212. And then Suarez at third base, batting 230. And then Crawford at shortstop, batting 268. And then Moore at left field, batting 197. And then Frazier at second base, batting 238. And then Haggerty at right field, batting 299. And then Tor ends at catcher, batting 219. Up first for the Astros is Altuve at second base, batting 270. And then Gurriel at first bag, batting 241. And then Alvarez at DH, batting 316. And then Bregman at third base, batting 244. And then Tucker at right field, batting 245. And then Pena at shortstop, batting 259. And then Diaz at left field, batting 240. And then Dubon at center field, batting 221. And then Maldonado at catcher, batting 167. Excuse me.
and they are at Minute Maid Park like they were last night when they won 11-1. 15 hits by the Astros. And their pitching was outstanding. They gave up 6 hits and 1 run. They had 15 hits and 11 runs. Bregman and Tucker both had doubles. Diaz, Alvarez, and Dubon all had homers.
Dang, we're losing now 0-1.
Down by 1. Okay. This is still the first inning. This is all right. Okay, so Verlander was amazing. He pitched 7 2/3 innings. He gave up 5 hits and 1 earned run. He had 5 strikeouts, and his earned run average is 1.81. And he's 14-3 for the season. The losing pitcher was Ray. He's 8-8 for the season. They knocked him out in the 3rd inning. He gave up 5 hits and 4 earned runs. His earned run average is 4.11. There were 38,497 fans at Minute Maid Park last night rooting for the Astros, who are now 66-35, first place still in the AL West, and he knocked the Mariners down another game. They are 54-47. They are second place in the AL West. Boom.
Verlander's continuing to do great and getting good hits.
The pitching on the Astros is outstanding. If they could pitch like this, they don't need any other players.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, I wonder what the MLB ERA leaders are right now.
Well, I'll go over the Yankees. Yankees won last night, 11-5. They were losing the game. It was 3-0. No, let's see. It was 5-3. And then the Yankees scored 8 runs in the 8th inning to come back and win the game. They had 11 hits and 11 runs in the game. Carpenter and Torres had doubles. Rizzo had a homer. Judge had 2 homers in the 3rd and in the 8th, which was a grand slam. And then Cole was pitching. He pitched 6 innings. He gave up 7 hits and 5 earned runs. He had 9 strikeouts. His earned run average is 3.30. The winning pitcher was Abreu. He pitched the eighth inning, and he gave up only one hit, no runs, and then the save went to Peralta. So the Abreu's ERA is 2.22, and Peralta's ERA is 2.37. The losing pitcher was Barlow. He's 4-4 for the season. His earned run average is 2.45, and there were 42,481 screaming fans cheering the Yankees in the bottom of the eighth inning to win the game, keep him in first place at 68-33. That's first place in the AL East, and the Royals are in fifth place in the AL Central. They're 39-61. Then today, the Yankees won again. Yankees won 8-2 today. Just came in. Yankees had 8 hits and 8 runs. Torres had a double. LeMahieu, Judge, and Carpenter all had home runs. The winning pitcher was Cortez. He's 9-3 for the season. He went 5 innings. He gave up 5 hits and 2 earned runs. His earned run average is 2.53. The save went to Schmidt. He's 5-2 for the season, and his earned run average is 2.4. The losing pitcher was Heasley. He's 1-6 for the season with a 5.82 earned run average, and there were 44,081 fans at Yankee Stadium cheering the Yanks on this afternoon.
Nice. And so to answer the question of the according, looks like by covers.com, Houston is the leader still, ERA with a 3.03, and then the Yankees with a 3.16 ERA, and then Tampa Bay with a 3.43 ERA, and then the Mets with a 3.59 ERA.
So Houston keeps the average of the opposing batters to 212, and the Yankees keep the opposing batters average at 2.18. So the two best teams in the league are Houston and the Yankees. And who has the best pitcher?
Houston.
And the Yankees. And then Tampa and the Mets are right behind them. All right. Oh, pull that up and we'll see where the other teams are.
And then after that, we have Seattle, then the Braves, then San Diego, then the Phillies,
and St. Louis. Okay. That rounds it out. Okay, well, that'll be an interesting stat for us to watch as the season goes by, because the pitching is the key.
Oh, maybe it's that. Well, now that I'm clicking on it, it looks like Dodgers is actually in first. The 2 point can't do that.
Yep.
With a 2.96 ERA. And then Houston with a 3.03.
Okay. Okay, we didn't see him.
With a 3.14.
Okay, so the Dodgers are 2.96. Okay.
And then the Rays, and then Mets, and then Seattle.
Interesting, though, but the average that the Dodgers have on their opponents is 217. Houston's actually better. Houston's is 212 average for the opposing batters.
Interesting.
Okay. Oh, so the Dodgers are good too. I got it. Okay.
Oh, also in the Yanks game, Old Timers Day returned.
Oh, Old Timers Day. What fun.
So according to, this was today, according to Brian Hodge on MLB.com, Ron Guidry, Tina Martinez, Willie Randolph, and Bernie Williams were among Saturday's headliners for the 12th Old Timers Day at the current Yankee Stadium, and the first since 2019.
All right.
The traditional 3-inning exhibition did not take place, which the club said was because several invitees were physically unable to play.
Okay. They showed up and they were introduced and they said they're going to play next year.
Yeah.
Okay. There's Ron Guidry. Ron Guidry's name was Louisiana Lightning, and he won the World Series in 1978 8, he was unbelievable.
Yeah, there's a picture of him pitching.
I think he was 26-3 that season.
It looks like today.
Yeah, he was the Cy Young winner. Okay.
Nice. Yep. And so in the standings in the AL East, we have the Yanks first, 12.5 games over Toronto. In the AL Central, the Twins are 1.5 games over the Guardians. In the AL West, the Astros are 12 games over Seattle. In the NL East, the Mets are 3 games over the Braves. In the NL Central, the Brewers are 3 games over the Cards. And in the NL West, the Dodgers are 12 games over the Padres.
So the Dodgers have, over the last 10 games, are 8-2. So they're hot. Astros over the last 10 games are 7-3. And the Yankees are 5-5 over the last 10 games. So the hottest team is the Dodgers, and the second hottest team is the Astros over the last 10 games.
Interesting.
Okay.
I guess that would probably put, if there was a power ranking by someone, we can make our own Blazing Baseball power ranking right now. We'll have the Dodgers currently at number 1, and then the Astros. And then third, we would have
Yankees.
The Yanks.
There you go. How about the Braves? You picked the
third,
Braves.
And then fourth
Be the Mets. Mets.
Would be the Mets.
Yeah. Okay.
And then fifth would be the Brewers.
The Brewers. Oh, good. Well, the Brewers are beating Boston Red Sox right now, 5-6-4. Okay.
So that's your Blazing Baseball power ranking.
All right. Good ranking. I like the ranking.
Thank you. We have another run for the Mariners. We are losing the Astros 2-0.
2-0. It's still the first inning. We didn't get out of the first inning yet.
Nope.
Valdez has thrown 23 pitches, but he's got 2 outs, and he's got a 0-2 count on the batter. Maybe he'll strike him out. Foul pitch. All right.
So in the trade news, we have, we'll get to it, but Luis Castillo was traded to, well, we'll get to it now, to the Mariners for 3 minor league players, for Novelli Marte, infielder Edwin Arroyo, and right-hand pitcher Levi Strout, and right-hander Andrew Moore.
Right, so they actually had 4. They had 2 infielders and 2 right-handed pitchers, because the Steelers are a right-handed pitcher. So they gave up 4 good players for 1.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. It's, I guess the Mariners are thinking they're going to win this World Series.
They're not.
They're trying to. That's with their payroll. That's what they're going for.
But they're not going to beat. They're not going to beat Houston out. I mean, they're 12 games behind Houston.
I mean, yeah, that's we're hoping.
Yeah,
we're cheering for the Astros.
Well, let's go, Astros!
But that's a big trade for them. And I was watching the Yankees earlier today, and they were talking about it, the announcers, and I was trying to also kind of bewildered with this trade, because you're giving up kind of the future of your farm system in this trade. And they were saying you have people in power, and they may leave in a year or whatever. So then they won't be able to see this farm system happen. So they're wanting to cash in now on Luis Castillo. And
they want to try
to win the World Series now.
Right. They want to try to win the World Series this year. That's what they're saying.
Yep.
We're paying the money. They got the 3rd biggest payroll, and now they got the best pitcher that was out there. They got him.
It's possible. There's definitely a chance for them.
Okay. Well, I don't think they're going to beat Houston to win the AL West title. I think they got to get a wild card.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then win the wild card game.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we beat them the last 2 games. So.
Well, let's see what happens right now.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens tonight, because now it's 3-0.
2-0. Oh, 3-0 is.
They got another run in. Yep. Oh boy. Yep. Okay. All righty.
All right, and so we have the D-backs trade to the Rays.
Peralta.
David Peralta. For catching prospects from the D-backs, Christian Curda. And then we have Chicago Whites. Different news, but we have a suspension that we'll get into.
Oh.
And we have Dodgers acquire reliever Chris Martin from Cubs for utility man Zach McKinstry.
They got a good pitcher.
Yep.
Oh, Dodgers are going to be tougher.
Yep. And last but not least in the trades, we have the Phillies acquire Edmundo Sosa and trade with the Cardinals.
He's an infielder. All right.
For left-hander Jojo Romero.
All right. And he's 26 years old. All right. Valdez has got to shut them down right now. He's got to shut them down. Okay, he did. Okay, good. Astros got out of the inning. They gave up 3 runs.
Yep.
But now they got to score.
Yep.
All right.
And so, according to Jesse Rogers via ESPN, this is on ABC7Chicago.com, Chicago White Sox shortstop Tim Anderson suspended 3 games for making contact with umpire.
Uh-oh, he bumped him.
Yep.
There's a picture of him bumping the umpire.
And fined an undisclosed amount of money for making helmet-to-hat contact with home plate umpire Nick Marley during Friday night's game against the Oakland A's.
It was a pitch. Oh. Yeah, he's mad at the pitch call.
Anderson has appealed the suspension, meaning he will be eligible to play when the White Sox face Oakland on Saturday.
Right, so he's out for 3 games. He's like their best player.
Mm-hmm. This is Anderson, 29, was unhappy with a first pitch strike call by Marley in the bottom of the 7th inning. The two had words before Marley ejected Anderson, who then approached the umpire, making contact between his helmet and Marley's cap. The jaw-to-jaw argument went on for a few more moments before manager Tony La Russa came out to take up the fight. He was ejected a few moments later. Anderson will be serving a second suspension this season after earning one last September for making contact with an umpire during the bench-clearing fight with the Detroit Tigers.
Oh, boy.
He missed the first 2 games of 2022 due to that incident. He was also suspended for a game but won an appeal after he made an obscene gesture towards fans in Cleveland back in April. Anderson is appealing the current suspension, which will be held in abeyance until a hearing. The A's won the game 7-3.
Okay. Well, he didn't help the team. The A's won. Anyway. No. Yeah, the players shouldn't get ejected like that. Let the umpire eject the manager. Not the players.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? The players getting kicked out. Your best player get kicked out of the game.
Yeah, I kind of feel like the umpire. I mean, even the manager shouldn't complain. I feel like I don't know. The best management might just be like just telling them like what they think it is, but not losing their cool.
Right. Well, not to the point where you get ejected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're always yelling at him about the balls and strikes.
Yep. And so in the last article that I have that I found interesting is a New York Times article titled by Dan Barry, and it's titled "He's Baseball's Only Mud Supplier. It's a job he may soon lose."
Oh, this is the special mud they put on the balls.
Jim Bintliff collects the Delaware River mud that is smeared on Major League Baseball to make them less slippery. But that tradition is apparently in jeopardy.
Wow.
And it's down in New Jersey.
It's the Delaware Water Gap in New Jersey, and I used to
There's
be a Boy
secret
Scout there.
spot along a New Jersey riverbank.
We used to camp there in the Boy Scouts when I was a kid. Yeah. Oh.
So now I'm skimming through this article because I haven't actually read
Yeah.
it, but it's an interesting title.
Yeah. Well, they want to do a substitute. Chemists and engineers developing stuff.
Yep.
Oh boy. I like the old mud. Let them keep giving them the old mud.
It says Glenn Kaplan, an MLB spokesman, said that pre-tack baseballs are continuing to be tested in the minor leagues,
Okay.
but the reviews have been mixed.
Okay. It's not as good as the old mud.
If you change one property of a baseball, you sacrifice something, Kaplan said. The sound off the bat was different. The ball felt softer. The bar to change a ball is very high.
Wow.
Still, he said it's an ongoing project.
Okay. Well, I hope they keep the mud. It looks muddy.
Oh, yeah.
The good old mud from New Jersey. There you have it, Mama. How'd you like that?
That's some good stuff.
That's the good stuff right there. All right. That's a really nice human
And this
interest
title,
story.
yeah, goes into how it started. When they started doing the
1938.
mud.
It said 1938.
Well, it actually goes back to the 1910s.
Oh, then before, okay, 1910 and then in 38. Okay. I switched it. Okay. Interesting. What a nice human interest story, huh?
Yeah.
They've been putting mud on the baseball since 1910. And there he is pouring the mud. All right. They're going to break down the composition of the mud. That's what they'll tell you. Tell you everything. So what they try to do is go back and make the mud in a lab. So they can make it consistently perfect mud every batch.
Yeah, and then I guess they also want to make it consistent all the time.
Yeah.
Interesting thing, it says here 3 big league teams, the Yankees, the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Washington Nationals, declined to allow a reporter to watch the clubhouse employee engage in the seamlessly innocuous but apparently sensitive talk of rubbing mud into a baseball.
Yep. 50 seconds.
You can't even watch me
Do the baseball.
do this. All right, reporter. I have to rub mud on this ball, and you can't even watch this.
That's right.
This isn't where this is not supposed. This is not seen. It's supposed to be seen by cameras.
That's right. They just this is the way it is.
This is the way it is.
It's done behind
If a
the
cam-
closed doors.
If
This is the
if
way.
a camera is in its vicinity, it ruins the mud.
There you go.
Who knows?
Jinxes the mud.
Jinxes the mud.
Don't jinx the mud.
Hey, baseball players are super superstitious.
Oh man.
I mean, they'll wear the same jock strap for like a whole season if they're hitting good.
Fortunately, MLB also sent all teams a 50-second instructional video demonstrating the almost worshipful care expected in properly muddying a pearl. The splash of water is poured into a jar of Lena Blackbird mud. The hands of an unknown clubby dips 3 fingertips lightly into the mud, then selects a virgin ball from a box of dozen. For the next 36 seconds,
36.
the hands rub, roll, and massage, working the mud into the grains and along the seams before plopping the now off-white ball back into the box.
There you go. And every ball is done the same
The
way.
simple
like that.
act is surprisingly solemn, as if the integrity of the national pastime depend on communion between a ball made in Costa Rica and mud shoveled from a Jersey river.
All right. It's beautiful.
The other day, Blintiff threw his flat edge shovel into his pickup and headed back again to the secret place. He came back with 20 pails of beautiful, mucky tradition.
20. He gets 20 pails of mud
Yep.
at a time.
Yep.
The big buckets.
Yep.
They're the big
I think
5 gallon.
he'll be doing that forever. It'll never change.
Yeah,
Even with these chemists trying to come up with these new things, you're
Yeah.
gonna if you have players that do opt to do that, you're gonna have players that are gonna be like, no, I want the mud.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's tradition.
Yeah.
It's the way it was and the way it should be. All right. Fun stuff.
Yep. And is there any other baseball topics you want to go over today on Days in Baseball?
That's it for today. Happy Saturday, everybody. And tomorrow we'll be back on Blazing Baseball.
Yeah, we'll catch you all here tomorrow on Blazing Baseball. Blazing through tomorrow's baseball topics. Peace.
Peace out.
30